action. I feel resentment with some of my friends. And I know it's not reality. So let's talk about it while we do my hair. It's giving Prince Charming from Shrek. I just got dizzy. Basically, I feel a lot of bitterness sometimes. Obviously, feelings come and go. And I know it's not on them and it's not on me either. Questionable, but it's not relative. It's not anything that I should hold space for, but it still happens. So, honestly, I think it's child me. Child me having the expectation that I would go through life with my friends, which we still do. It's just a little different than what I had in mind. I think growing up, watching media and living close by to my friends kind of warped my version of adulthood. I just realized I'm not in the center and that really pisses me off. We'll just go like this. Because media, when I was younger, I'm 27, so early 90s, early 2000s, was very like Friends, the show. There was a lot of like teen media that was around, like Friends doing everything together in life. Found family when it comes to Friends. If you see me look down, I have a mirror right here. But basically, I think I had a certain night. Okay, for instance, High School Musical was big for me as a child. That was my shit. And when I hold on, there's a bus. Not a bus, it's a motorcycle, but anyway. When I went to high school, I thought it would be like High School Musical, which isn't a reality thought. It's a fantastical thought, which I learned very quickly. It was not reality. And I think the same thing applies here. Child me obviously had some thoughts of we would live right next to each other, we would do coffee every week, we would all have adult jobs or have jobs and still meet up and still have the same kinship that we did when we were kids. Life doesn't work like that. Especially doesn't work like that when certain friends that I've been friends with for a long time have kids, or they have a career that's outside of where I live. And I know I shouldn't feel resentment towards them for that because it's not their fault and they're living their lives. But child me is like, let's just go play. Why can we not go play? Let's go to the beach. Let's go swim. Let's go. As cheesy as it sounds, let's go be kids again, which is not reality. And as soon as this like resentment or bitterness kicks in, it's like quickly followed by shame, and then no, I'm not unhappy with them. I do root for them. I'm happy the way that if they've chosen to have kids, I'm happy that they have kids because they're the best parents I could ever think of, and I'm happy that they're happy. So it's a confusing like tornado of thoughts. I also think it probably has something to do with the fact that I can't do a lot of things that most people can do. As a chronically ill person, I have limited time and energy. So you kind of feel like the world moves on without you, which it kind of does. Like, one of my most gorgeous friends, love them to death. They went on a trip to Korea and for school. And I was like, I remember when we had plans to do that, but now I can't do that because one, there's a myriad of reasons. One, financial. Two, grades. Three, I don't have the energy for that. I don't have the, for those who don't know, I have CFS/ME. It's myalgic encephalitis, is the name that, the medical name, the one that it's most known as chronic fatigue, and that's the one I can say, so that's the one I go by. So that means I can put a little chart, because I did a little chart the other day, because it's kind of hard to explain chronic illness to people. Do we like pigtails? I can't figure out if I like it or not. Maybe I'll just do one. So yeah, I can't do a lot of things that other people can do. And I'm mostly housebound. And if I do have an activity, I usually need recovery days, like 3 to 4 days, depending on the activity. But I don't function like a normal human being, and I think that kind of adds to the thought of me having resentment. It's not, I don't know, it's just a negative feeling towards my friends, and I know it's not, logically I know it's not a representation of them or a representation of me. It's just a thing that I feel sometimes. This is giving interesting. Oh my god, don't you love when you put something in your hair and then it does that little bumpy bump thing? That fucking sucks. I think it might be grief. Grieving that part of myself that thought life was supposed to be a certain way. And it's very common to grieve with chronic illness, because you grieve the life that you thought would be your life, and you grieve the person you thought you were, and you grieve the things that you could have done, and the people you could have made, and the trips you could have had, and blah, 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 blah. So it could just be that. And I would never say these things to my friend, because it's like, what's the point? Because at my core, I am a loving and empathetic person, and I want my friends to succeed, and I want them to do the things that they love, whether it be having children or moving out of the state or going on trips or just doing life things that they want to do. How could I hold, I forgot that was there. How could I hold a grudge against that? I can't. Because there's no space for that. And because I want them to succeed in whatever they're doing. And yet, there's that little nugget of resentment. And I don't know what to do with that. Sometimes I just sit in it and then wait for it to go away, and then I'm back to being woo. Other times I ignore it, which is something. Majority of the time, I write it down and just hold that space. I actually think I have a poem that I wrote. I can get that. because my hair is obviously not doing what I want it to do. These are my journals. These are actually from uni, but since I dropped out, I've turned it into my my book. See? My oh, I keep forgetting that's there. Sorry guys. My free space for everything that I'm writing. I don't actually think it's in here. I think it might be on my phone, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Does everyone know that? Vine or TikTok? There it is. So here is obviously this is a rough draft, and when it comes to book writing, you edit a lot, which I'm finding out now, which is just great, because honestly, a lot of my writing doesn't make sense, and I'm learning that now, which is just, I have to edit it and rewrite it or scrap it, and that's proving to be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? I said it to my friend the other day. Go away. Here we go. It's in a voice note, of course it is. I could just pull up the voice note, not gonna lie. Let's just do that. Complicated feelings towards my novel currently. Because of AI and them using it to further increase the value of AI, I don't want to write anything on the computer in case. I don't think it's that one. Apart from that though, my creativity is kind of in a slump because of AI and the state of the world and all that kind of jazz, which it happens, she fluctuates. But I'm doing a lot of drawing because apparently that takes less of energy. So I'm doing that, and I'm editing as I'm writing all my little poems and stuff on paper, because some of it doesn't make it easy, and so I'm a little pessimistic at the moment. But pessimistic, a little disheartened. Don't you love that I had to do that all just to find that one word? Can you imagine that I'm an author at the same time? Anyway, I will read you this little writing. Oh, that's what I was saying. How writing a book is a lot of editing, so I'm feeling a little pessimistic about everything and bittersweet and blah, 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 because nothing makes sense. But I will read you this little piece of writing, and then I will fuck off. And I keep forgetting that there. I need to find a bra that actually fits so the straps don't come down, but that's a problem for another day. I'll read you this and then I'll go. Because I actually do have things to do. I know, which is astounding. It is titled Childhood Friends. I miss summer and the way when all my friends came around and we played in the yard for hours. When we ran around, making up stories, secret handshakes, secret identities. And the way we used to order what each other did, hiding smiles and sharing leftovers. And the way we blew bubbles in our drinks, giggling as the fizz went up our noses. I miss when we went camping, our skin itching, our hair matted with seawater and crumbs of the day. When there was a storm and it ripped our tents apart, so we ran for cover, laughing in a circle, huddling like penguins for warmth. I miss the beach, when our parents sat on the lawn chairs and talked about us and thought that we were far enough away. When ice cream was dripping everywhere only to be washed away in the sea. When that one wave almost took us away and you and I were holding onto our boogie boards for dear life. You screaming for your life, me laughing trying to reassure you, our siblings watching from the shoreline, not quite believing it either. I miss you and us and the way iced animal crackers used to taste. How water parks used to feel larger than life. The way we could buy our favourite candy for $1. How we packed lunch and found our way home to home. How summer used to last forever. that is just one of them. There's quite a few nostalgic ones. How summer doesn't feel the same and blah, 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 blah. But that's my rant. Love you lots. Enjoy life as it is. Sit in those moments when you feel uncomfortable. Write it out. Write it out or write it out. Just find what centers yourself, because if you don't sit in those moments, then they build up and then they bite you in the ass, which is something that I've learnt not to do because of the effects that come afterwards, but it is still something I struggle with. So at the end of the day, I am only human and you are only human, and this is humanity, and being a human in humanity is messy. It's messy. So that's my TED Talk. I'm done. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.